We're in Adelaide as the 36ers host the Perth Wildcats. And the 36ers, they're pretty good from the three-point line and they're very good defensively. So I think I'm going to stick with them in my pick'ems. So I've opened up the Dabble app and I've put on a 4-pick pick'em. Of course, you can check through the activity feed yourself and try and find something that you like. Of course, most important thing, protect yourself, set that deposit limit. Look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy the game.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
The biggest story of the off-season was the Adelaide 36ers. They signed Bryce Cotton. I thought all was well in WA. I thought Bryce Cotton loved his time in WA and he just wanted to seek out a fresh change. But when you listen to Matt Weston, CEO of the Adelaide 36ers, what he had to say, it all doesn't seem like that.
We're just going to quadruple team him every time he touches the ball.
I know it's going to be hyped up because of what he's been able to accomplish in Perth.
That little gift they gave me, that's going straight to the fireplace. When I go back to Perth, I'm burning that.
It was the biggest signing of the NBL offseason.
It seems like there was something in the water.
And just when we thought Bryce Cotton had played his last game, the Adelaide 36ers snatched the superstar signature.
Bryce Cotton cannot be stopped. First 40-piece for Bryce.
This is my home now. They rocking with me and I'm rocking with them.
We've arrived at one of the most anticipated games of the season, and you'd be lying if you didn't circle Cotton versus the Cats the moment the schedule dropped. Bryce Cotton, a name synonymous with MVPs and the Perth Wildcats, departed the West with 3 chips to his name to find a new home in Adelaide in the biggest move of the off-season. Both sides insist they have no regrets, but when they meet today, we'll find out who has the upper hand. It's Sunday afternoon hoops, and it's a pleasure to have your company. I'm Kelsey Brown, joined by 2 of the best to do it in this league, Derek Rucker and Andrew Gaze. And Derek, let's get into it straight away. What are you most excited about in this one?
Well, this is a tasty matchup, one that signals to us the league is truly in full form. Bryce Cotton against his former team. Andrew, I'm not sure who has the upper hand, but I know he's the best player on the floor.
No, spot on. The Perth Wildcats, they've been playing some good basketball, and I like the team they've put together. Now David Duke comes into the lineup. The Adelaide 36ers have been special this season, particularly because of this man here, Bryce Cotton. We're going to talk about a whole lot of different things throughout the course of the game, but this is going to be a tasty watch, and to see how Bryce Cotton goes up against his old team.
Well, there's no better way to find out than going straight to the source, and he's standing by with John Casey right now.
Thanks very much, Kelsey. Good afternoon, everyone. Bryce, appreciate your time. A lot has been said about this game. How are you approaching it?
Just like another day.
Simply that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on record before. I always keep it blurred faces, same movie, different actors, and this is no different.
Look, you've had different teams try to guard you different ways this year. What are you anticipating Perth might throw at you?
I mean, I'm not quite sure. Probably more or less the same things the rest of the teams do, but that's what makes the game fun, and, you know, whoever makes the best adjustments usually comes out with the win.
You're very familiar with the players who are going to guard you today. What advantages does that present for you?
I mean, I think I feel like I have advantages regardless of, you know, anytime I'm out there on the floor, but I'm going to get their best efforts. They're going to get my best efforts, and it's just going to be something we all have to watch.
And just finally, your season high is 53. Your lowest so far this season is 7. Your average is 28. Where do you think it might fall in this game?
That's your job to predict.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, man.
Well, he's a cool customer, that Bryce Cotton, but I reckon there is a little bit of fire in the belly today. Derek, for the Perth Wildcats, though, who gets that Bryce assignment?
Well, this is a tough one, Kelsey, because we thought it would be Ben Henschel, but there's been a late adjustment to the starting lineup, and David Duke Jr. will be inserted. Now, he is the one who is going to have to take the Bryce Cotton one-on-one assignment to the best of his abilities. Also, Jaron Riley will be called upon at times in transition, in broken play, Andrew, to contain Bryce Cotton also.
Yeah, certainly whoever guards him is going to be important, but it's what you do collectively to stop Bryce Cotton. And we've seen this season the Sydney Kings, they did the best job at it, and they did it by just smothering him, coming out fully aggressive, trying to throw a double team at him in any on-ball situation. And
even three people.
That's right, getting the ball out of his hands. And then certainly the New Zealand Breakers, you know, he still had his 23, but wasn't quite as efficient as he's been in the past. If you just go one-on-one with Bryce Cotton, he has shown throughout his entire career, which Derek, by the way, is 5 MVPs. You can't guard him one-on-one.
Well, the fans are waiting, and so is everybody at home. Let's get into our starting fives and welcome in our last member of the commentary team. John Casey, over to you.
Thanks very much, Kelsey. Look, these 36ers Wildcats games always have an edge to them, but this one feels a little extra spicy, even if Bryce Cotton doesn't want to treat it this way. Adelaide going with the same five they've started every game this year. They're the only team, along with the Phoenix, who have not made a change. And as Derek Rucker pointed out, David Duke Jr. becomes the 9th starter this season for the Wildcats, replacing Ben Henschel in the first five. This is their 160th meeting between these teams. They've played more than any other two teams in the competition, and this one is set to be a cracker. As we get set to go from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, sold out again, it's the Perth Wildcats who are working to the left of your screen, who controlled the tip. And Jaron really straight away goes to work, and Cheatham wasn't having any of it.
Well, that's one of the best ways to get at a superstar is attack him on the defensive end. Jaron really, who's been off to a good start to his rookie season, goes right at Cotton, but guess what? Cheatham says, not today, young fella.
They get it back to really guarded by Cotton. Found some space, pocket pass, Lalatul ran into Humphries, who shut him down, and now it's Bryce Cotton in the open court. Doolittle gets in front of him, they roll it down to Humphries against Lalatul. Desperate to get it to Cotton, but he's denied the ball by Doolittle. Here's Vasiljevic, trying to get beyond David Duke, pulls up, baseline, open scoring.
That will do his confidence the world of good, only shooting it at 34%. We know he's a much more capable shooter than that. But what a statement the Adelaide 36ers made on the defensive end, that first possession with a couple of rejections.
Doolittle, height advantage here against Flynn Cameron, forced into a tough shot, can't convert, really tried to keep it alive. It's Cheatham again who claims it for Adelaide. And they're up tempo as well, the 36ers. And Cheatham hands over Vasiljevic off the front of the rim.
And I think Vasiljevic will have a lot of good look opportunities in this game based on the pressure that we see Perth want to apply to Bryce Cotton and the number of bodies that are targeted at him.
Lalatul reaching in, Cotton leads the league in steals, stripped him of it, and a chance now. Up the floor quickly. And the Wildcats get back in numbers, but Humphries climbs upstairs and throws it down with authority.
That's the thing, when you're going to send a double team, if you are not engaged on the weak side, you are going to have all sorts of problems. They did send the double team, but Bryce, a very willing passer and a very good passer, particularly when he's got bodies coming at him.
Help side defense must have eyes on the ball and be ready to react.
Really confronted by Humphries, gets a double team. They left Lalatul open, and he gets Perth's first score. It took almost 2 minutes.
Ditto for the Adelaide 36ers. They send the double team, and a nice pocket pass for an easy two for Perth.
Cheatham shows it to Doolittle, goes back to Flynn Cameron as they exchange passes. Cotton gets involved. Red numbers on the shot clock against David Duke. The step back from the King. He's off the mark.
High energy game early. Both teams really into it, understand the importance.
Really found an opening right in front of his father, John, but it's Cheatham who gets upstairs for the rebound.
His father, John, wouldn't have missed that shot.
Humphries again aggressively down low from good range, can't complete it. And Cameron thought he'd done enough to win it back there, but not according to referee Elliot Green, working this game with Michael Aylen and James Griggle.
Well, that's what they've got to do when those double teams have come. That's twice they've found the roller. And if you're going to send that double team, you've got to dig at the ball and have a little bit more ball pressure to make that pass a little tougher.
Lalatul punches his way inside. Loose ball came to Doolittle, who comes up with his first score in the game.
In case you've been around this league for decades, when you look at this 10 out here on the floor right now, there are no weak links in terms of talent or skill.
Just superb to look at, isn't it? Hungry Jack's NBL going from strength to strength as Humphries takes on Luala Chu and somehow makes it work.
He's got everything going for him. He's having an outstanding season. Leads the league in field goal percentage, 69%. Case, that is off the charts.
Baseline,
And
34.
that one there demonstrated the confidence that he's got. And for the first time, I think he has not taken a three. Now, I know that was never a big part of his game, but it always seemed like he wanted to be that pick and pop guy. He's doing what he does best and benefiting a lot from Bryce Cotton being out there.
Here's Duke, got away from Vasiljevic, attracted plenty of attention. The pass looked a little wayward. They reset here, and Duke fires over the top of Vasiljevic. Caught it deep. But Cheatham had it, really almost relieved him of it, and now Bryce Cotton. Really to contend with the moment, puts on the afterburners, wrap-around pass to get Cameron an open look. It's off the mark. Cotton the O-ball.
Inexcusable by the Wildcats bigs to let the smallest man on the court get in there and get an offensive rebound.
And Drew, you mentioned the D that we saw straight up from Adelaide, how good it was. And I think it's been lost in the Bryce Cotton move to Adelaide is the fact that the 36ers defense this year is giving up just 84 points a game. It's the best in the competition. And last year it was at 96. They were 8th. So they've improved dramatically at the defensive end, as well as the offensive end when you've got the leading scorer coming to your team. Cheatham went to work and it's tipped in. Humphries is having a game here. He's got 6 of Adelaide's 8.
Humphries is highly motivated, understands the opportunities that are available. And right now, he's really a thorn in the side for the Wildcats.
Windler fires. That's off the mark. Humphries controls the rebound. Did it well against multiple opponents as well. Henschel into the game. On to the Quera. He's Cotton down to the baseline. Convert. None of 2 from the field to start here for Cotton as Windler steps inside Cameron. Found an opening. A nice finish from Windler to open his account.
Both these teams are proven to be better than average defensive teams. And I think when you've got those teams like that, the transition opportunities offensively become more important. That was a good example of it where you're not going up against an established defense and you can get to the rim.
Cameron got it from Cotton, works inside Wendler, tried to step around Quera, fancy finish, but couldn't come up with it. Now Henschel, confronted by Cheatham. Windler gets it next. A little over 5 minutes played in the opening quarter. Windler couldn't get it done. They swing the ball around to Doolittle for the finishing touches, and he's caught it deep. They're none of 4 from long range, Perth. Adelaide none of 2 so far. As Aquera tees one up, and that's off the money as well. Well, Henschel got the O-board, appeared to push Vasiljevic out of the way, and the finishing touch is the throwdown dunk from Aquera, and Mike Wells is not happy.
He's not happy because have a look at the O-boards. 5 offensive boards already for the Perth Wildcats. Too many second chance opportunities for them.
Well, pre-game we spoke to John Rillie about his thoughts on trying to contain Bryce Cotton.
JR, you've coached Bryce Cotton for 3 years. What advantages does that give you now you're going against him?
The advantages are I understand why he's a high-level performer for such a long time. Now, that's an advantage and a disadvantage because hopefully tonight I haven't overcomplicated it for our players.
If he gets going, what can you do?
Timeout, timeout, timeout.
Is this the toughest assignment you've had as a coach?
No, because I know there's a lot of hype around the game, Perth, Adelaide, Bryce, Perth, but for us and the team and where we are at this stage of the year, it's about our team building. It's a great challenge to play against a prolific scorer and just really see, and he's going to test some of our defensive philosophies, that's for sure.
Well, I can see where John Rillie's coming from, having worked closely with Bryce Cotton and coached him in what could be said was his best season in the league last season. Case, there's a competitive spirit in John Rillie, and I'm sure he does not want Bryce Cotton to put massive numbers on them, and right now you can see the energy being devoted to minimizing his impact on this first quarter.
Kelsey Brown was listening in with Mike Wells during the timeout.
Well, it was all about the O-boards. He said long shots means long rebounds. What are we doing? We're getting pushed so deep under the rim. We've got to get after those a lot better than we are.
Rakocevic spinning baseline, late whistle. Foul going to be called on Aquera. Second team foul on Perth.
And Drew, I think this will be important, the matchup of the bigs off the bench. David Aquera, who we saw finish a loose ball for a dunk before, and Nick Rakocevic, both very good players, but in different stages of their careers.
That's right. And Aquera's done a long apprenticeship, and he's now getting to see some real meaningful minutes, and he's been pretty good this season. Long body, can guard multiple positions.
Rakocevic there, just making the back end. His field goal or free throw shooting's gone off the boil. 9 of 17 at 53% so far this season. Less than 4 minutes to play, term number 1. Adelaide on top by 1. Henschel against Isaac White with a height advantage, works to the elbow and comes up with his opening score.
Not great shot selection, but exceptional talent. Henschel raises up and knocks that one down, and he needed a bucket to go through the hoop early.
Perth in front. As White looks to take on Henschel, lost the handle. Knocks it on the play as well. And again, it's a late whistle from Elliot Green, and it's called on Ben Henschel.
I didn't see that one.
Neither did I, and John really certainly does not agree with that call.
We'll put it this way. We've seen a lot more contact go unwhistled, and that looked like a ball handling error that had very little to do with the contact.
It was the delay as well, which made it stand out. Single digits on the shot clock here for Cotton. Red numbers now as he pokes it into the corner. White, coming off his best game of the season, catches it a little deep.
Good defense there by Doolittle on Cotton, forcing him to kick that ball out.
Windler wanted the pass for Sunday Ditch, but it trickles out of court. Second turnover in the game for Perth. Adelaide yet to commit in that category. We should point out that Sunday Ditch and Lat Mayan, the two Adelaide players coming back, as well as Bryce Cotton and Michael Harris being Perth players now here in Adelaide. There's quite a few that have changed in the offseason.
And there's been a lot of transition in this Wildcats team, not only in the offseason, but during the season as well, Case. They will not be a finished product until January, February, in my opinion.
16 players they've used, including 9 starters, as Cotton opens his account.
I don't care how many MVPs you've won and how it started, but there'd be a bit of a relief in Bryce knocking down that 3-ball first bucket of the game just to settle himself down, ease the tension.
First 3 of the game for either team as Doolittle marches down to the baseline, and that's to his tally.
Outstanding all-around basketball player with great physical attributes. Been a little bit down this season, but that won't last.
A little bit, but he's still got averaging 13 and 8, so he's putting up some decent numbers.
Good hustle again from the Wildcats, just to take Adelaide out of their rhythm as Cotton misfires. Henschel the rebound, hands over now for Aquera. Still been up-tempo. Windler goes back to Henschel. A little over 2 minutes out from quarter time. Now going to be called on Adelaide, on Isaac White. Going to be his first personal, second team foul on Adelaide.
Nice play there by Aquera. The plan was to get into a dribble handoff, but he faked it, realizing he had a smaller defender in Isaac White and looked for a post-up opportunity. Drew the foul.
Sunday Ditch restarts. Nepper into the game as well. Now it's Doolittle outside over Kenyon, off the mark. None of 6 from long range here, the Wildcats. Came in with a season average of 29%, which is 8th in the competition. It hasn't been a strong suit for them so far. White exploring Humphreys. Turns down Cameron and gets to the baseline, and the tip-in belongs to Rakocevic.
Mike Wells going with the 2 bigs. He hasn't done a lot this season with Humphreys and Rakocevic, but I like the look and a good game to employ it.
Well, they're getting beaten on the boards, so I think it's trying to solve that problem. That's going to be a goaltender, it should be.
You're correct. They'll have a look at it because they haven't blown it initially, Andrew.
It looked like it was above the rim.
And off the backboard first.
Yeah.
James Griggle just told John Riley it was not above the rim. That's his estimation.
Wow.
I don't...
From this angle, we're on the opposite
side.
That's
a goaltend.
That is a goaltend.
Let's go!
Hard to call. John Riley's not thrilled about it, though.
And even, Andrew, I don't believe in the concept that just because it's below the rim, that it's not makeable. You can make shots if you put spin on it.
Perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. But that, notwithstanding that, and you're right, but that to me looked like it was above the rim.
Burgers on offer here. Luala short fires and gives them away. I'll download the NBL app, click on the Hungry Jacks banner and enter the code word COMBO. You've got until 6 o'clock tomorrow to get to your favourite Hungry Jacks store to pick up a free cheeseburger. And that's the 4th time in 6 games here in Adelaide this season that they've ended up with hamburgers as well. And another 2 gets added for Adelaide.
Well, it was a combo of bad events for the Wildcats. Nice finish there by Really.
Glenn Cameron, he is becoming a problem this season with the way he can shoot it, but also we saw in that last play his ability to distribute the ball.
Dejan Vasiljevic gets himself to the paint where he generally does a very good job of drawing fouls and getting himself to the stripe.
Well, he should do, because from the stripe he's been exceptionally good. He's made his last 21 in a row.
Don't forget you can download the new NBL app, scan the QR code you see on the screen there. You can switch seamlessly between the NBL, NBL1 and WNBL. A big win over the Sydney Flames, so good news already for basketball fans. And you mentioned DJ. Well, he's now 42 of 45 this calendar year. If you're having someone take free throws for an important, maybe part of your life, DJ's going to be near the top of the queue. Now, Really's lost a handle there. I'm convinced Bryce Cotton, well, he is an intimidating factor, and that might have had something to do with that as well. 3 turnovers for Perth, and Cotton fires.
Got off the hook there.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Wagstaff stayed in a semi-drop.
Duke Jr. guarded by Vasiljevic. Shot clock is 5 seconds inside the game clock as we close in on quarter time. Adelaide 8-1 in opening quarters this season. And banking 3, Jaron Really. Last play of the opening quarter. It's that man, Bryce Cotton. We lost the handle. And Jesse Wagstaff's going to heave it from half court. The quarter time arrives here in Adelaide, are now 9-1 in opening quarters. It's Adelaide 18, the Perth Wildcats 17 with thanks to Choice Hotels. We'll be back with more from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre here on your Sunday afternoon, right after this.
Talking to Keeks. We can't disrespect their home.
We don't want to make it about us. It'd be disrespectful in a game like today. We can just, just keep it simple.
Keep it simple today. Good take. Great take. Yeah, good cry. crash! Hey, he ain't box out at all. He ain't box out at all. You. Come on, every time. Every time.
Great to have Ben Henschel in the zone for us this afternoon, mic'd up to bring you all the insights as we get underway. Turn number 2, Adelaide with a possession arrow. Both teams in front in the opening quarter.
Oh, nice.
And they look down low for Humphries from Rakocevic. Tough shot, shut down. Good defensive play from Wala Chul. They get another opportunity, and it's Cameron exploring, dancing on the rim, and now we'll go to the stripe.
There's a level of urgency in this game that's above your average game, isn't it? And they're both going at it. Great hustle by Flynn Cameron and creates something out of nothing, really, around the rim. Neither team shot it well in that first half, the first quarter. 38% for the 36ers and 40% for the Wildcats.
And a lot of that was due to the three-point shooting. Both teams poor, 1 of 6 and 1 of 8.
Yeah.
So Adelaide now 5 of 6 from the free throw line. The Wildcats none of 2. Thanks to Joe Luala-Chul. Cheeseburgers from Hungry Jacks for all in South Australia. And really, Luala-Chul hands over. Windlet, contact, no whistle. Wants to take on Flynn Cameron. Likes his chances against a smaller opponent, and he makes it work.
I like that set, Drewy. They put JLA and Windler on the same side of the floor. Get the ball to Windler coming off of JLA, and then he's just got to make something happen.
Cameron exploring, really going the wrong way, feeds outside. Rakocevic against Wagstaff. He was reluctant to pull the trigger on the 3. After none of 8 so far this season, he gets it done from close range. Minute play term number 2, Windler. Looks like he's in a mood for this one as well. Wala-Chul against Humphries. Been good battle so far. Double team arrives. They swing it around the horn. Windler, one way, back to the right hand. Tough shot, couldn't finish it. Wagstaff almost reeled it in, really did. And now Cameron's going to be fouled by Jesse Wagstaff. First personal on Jesse Wagstaff, who moves into the top 10 all-time games played in the NBL.
Blue, let's go. Inbound. 1.
John really right now is flirting with the technical right in front of us here.
Really physical contest like we saw last night in the Melbourne derby.
Rakocevic overdue and after missing 8 threes to start his career, he's pretty happy about knocking down the first.
I think he gave you the stink eye there, Case. If you questioned his 0 of 8, said cop that, Case.
Just reading the numbers. Wala-Chul from close range. He's up to 4 in the game.
Well, he's got to make himself more of a factor on the offensive end, just like he did there. Demand the ball more, maybe speak to the point guard and run some sets that designate him as a focal point.
Rakocevic enjoyed it so much the first time, went back for seconds. That's off the mark. So Adelaide 2 of 8 from deep. Wildcats 1 of 8. Duke Jr. in the corner. He's off the money. Wala-Chul the O-board. They're killing Adelaide at the moment. 8 offensive rebounds for Perth already. Now free throws to come.
For both ends, really.
No more.
17 to
Tell
11.
him to get in the game after here. Behaviour warning, Perth. No. Don't just go straight at him and tell him to get in the game. No, here. You're talking to him. No, you were talking to him. You were looking exactly at him.
Michael,
no,
I was
John,
not.
No.
I was not.
John,
hey, yes.
John Riley and Michael Ayling agreeing to disagree on that one. Big Joe to the free throw line where he's none of 2.
Both might have been right. He certainly walking to the ends of the bench, but I think he did have a few words to say on what he thought about some of the decision making by the officials. But he needs to be careful now. You don't want to give away an early tech.
And both coaches are stalking the sidelines with a level of venom in them that is rarely seen in regular season basketball games.
Duke Jr. all over Cotton, denied him the ball initially, but now he has it. Vasiljevic, shot clock, red numbers, confronting him. He tried to draw a foul, and and he's got Michael Aylan to bite on it, so free throws to come. Wildcats gets his second personal.
Well, Andrew, he's gone to the whirly bird. He wants the bench to challenge, and I don't think it would be a good decision.
That's one of those tough ones because it did look like Wildcats was going by and DJ jumped into him. This might be an okay angle, so it goes by and then he leans into him. Now, I don't know whether he would have won the challenge because did he lean in enough?
One to ponder, and so is a super coach. It's back in the NBL, but not as you know it. Just Beat the Coach is a new weekly format designed for fast, accessible play. There's the QR code for you to enjoy. Beat the Coach in any round of the NBL26 season, and you receive an entry into the end of season $10,000 prize draw, $5,000 cash, $5,000 at Choice Hotels with a gift voucher. Get into it.
DJ Vasiljevic, 5 of 5 from the line. That type of scoring is important for his team's success.
Particularly when the opponent's 1 of 4 from the stripe. Point you make, Derek. Shot clock winding down. Doolittle elevates and comes up with a finish.
That's his bread and butter. That hard drive, and he can stop so quickly and pull up in that mid-range.
Well, Drew, he needs to get in the fridge and bring more of that bread and butter out because just hasn't produced at the level so far.
Here's Cheatham. Tough shot from him. Couldn't get it done. He's none of 2. Wildcats gives it up to Jaron Riley. And they share the ball. 3.5 minutes played. Term number 2. Adelaide on top by 4. Both teams in front in the opening quarter. David Duke Jr. went without it. There was contact again, no whistle. Really, corner ball shut down. Cheatham blocked the shot. Came to Rakocevic. He tried to keep it alive.
It should be a reset. I call that a possession. Yeah, they are going to reset it because that's a controlled pass. What a closeout by Cheatham. And here it is. That's a possession. That's a pass. So you get a fresh 14.
You don't have to. You have to catch it, take possession, then throw it. Thank you.
Again, John really thinking his team not getting enough whistles at the moment. Duke Jr. got Vasiljevic in the air, confronted by Rakocevic. It's forced a path through and draws a foul and is off to the free throw line.
Above the three-point line. Above the three-point line, Blue. Let's go.
Get Rakocevic there. Got a piece of Duke Jr.'s arm. And David Duke Jr., someone with a lot of potential to excel in this competition. NBA body. Swing man, it looks like. Not so much of a point guard, Andrew, but I'm sure he has enough talent to be able to play the point in stretches.
We can get to the rim, and he's got good size. He's a watch on his shooting, though. I think he's the sort of guy that can be streaky. He had a couple against Melbourne United.
He had 8 points in his debut game.
Phoenix was the one. Yeah. But it doesn't look like that stroke is real natural to him.
Well, he's committed here on the defensive end.
Did well against Cotton. Rakocevic. Hands over, red numbers on the shot clock. Cameron forced a fire from the corner. Never looked likely. Overdid it. Wiggled the rebound off to Riley. The middle stages of the second. Quite an arm wrestle unfolding as we suspected. Look at the Wildcats just muscle his way inside to come up with another 2.
And that's why he was such a prize signing in the offseason case. He has an ability to score points against the best of defenders in the NBL.
Vasiljevic away from Windler. Bounce pass intended for Rakocevic. Shut down. Cheatham is knocked out of his hands. Adelaide will get it back with 9 on the shot clock, but not before Ben Henschel checks in, replacing Jaron Riley.
Cheatham really hasn't been involved and only had the 2 field goal attempts yet to make it any. And only with the 2 rebounds to his name in a little almost 11 minutes of play. I think they've got to find ways to get him more involved because they look different when he's scoring. Oh, my. That's the mistake you make. When the on-ball screen's coming, you've got to force him to the screen. Don't let him reject the screen.
First 3 of the night for Bryce Cotton as the answer comes there from David Duke.
Well, right now, I give a slight advantage to the Perth Wildcats only in the fact that they've been able to neutralize this crowd case early in this game. And, you know, one of the things I sense walking into this building, and you've been a part of a lot of the championships here, is there's that sense of success as we see Cotton pull up from deep. And, Drew, you're right. You got to push him into the screen. The Amy replay, it never lies.
No, that's right. And it's too hard. You're playing one-on-one if he doesn't use the screen, whereas you've got some help unless you're in a real deep drops, but that can be dangerous because you'll be in that drops, but then he accepts the screen and you're too far off to help.
Cheatham get the score in the game. He solves that problem. Puts Adelaide back on top, 4.5 out from half-time. Aquera to David Duke. The game pass to Vasiljevic, baseline, neat feed as well for the finishing touches from Doolittle, who's got 8. Only Rakocevic with 10 has more in the game. Game back on level terms. Cotton. That's Duke and now Doolittle as they change over. Wraparound pass down low for Cheatham's easy finish.
This is the thing about Bryce Cotton. He plays basketball the right way. We know he is a wonderfully prolific scorer, Andrew, but he can set people up as well, move the ball when necessary.
Doolittle puts it on the deck against Cameron and Cheatham. Forced him into a tough shot. Couldn't get it done initially. Off the front of the rim again with a second attempt. Now it's loose. Kept alive. Henschel. Strong body work. He can't finish either.
Just killing them on the offensive glass. That's 10 offensive rebounds for the Wildcats. And John Riley's running battle with the referees is incessant at the moment.
Hey, base. 14 seconds, shot clock, please. Yep.
Thought that would have been 2 shots.
The camera was on the box out.
Right.
Still red ball. Still red ball.
Henschel had some problems inbounding there. Couldn't get his angles right.
Here he is, Angel. He's bump taking the shot, and it was a late contest there from Isaac White, who's going to be called for the foul.
2 shots. 2 shots, guys.
Both teams with 14 fouls here in this second quarter with 3:37 still to play. Second person for Isaac White. Mike Wells has got plenty on his plate at the moment. Perth are asking a lot of questions here of Adelaide.
Well, Perth have a really imposing team from a physical perspective. They have good athleticism, length, they've got quickness, and they've got a lot of strong bodies. And you see how they're giving them now 11 offensive rebounds through.
You know what? The big difference this year to what it's been in John Riley's previous time with the Wildcats is that he's rotating his players a whole lot more than he has in the past because he goes so deep with so much talent and allows them to play this extended defense like you see here to try and keep fresh bodies in there as much as you can.
Tied at 35, 3.5 to play until half-time. Trust you're enjoying our coverage live from the Adelaide Entertainment Centre in front of a sellout crowd. Round 8 of 22 in the Hungry Jacks NBL season. Cotton overcooked it from close range, Windler the rebound. Now a chance Henschel. Been aggressive coming off the bench in this one. Doolittle hit the deck hard. Arrives now for the offense. Detch against his former team and against a former teammate on stage as well. Here's Doolittle baseline. Couldn't finish it. Cheatham the rebound. Busy again on the boards. Leads that category in the competition. Zylan Cheatham. As Cotton gets it. Started by Detch. Baseline. Confronted by Wagstaff. They swing it around the perimeter. Here's Flynn Cameron exploring. Back outside. Kenyon gets an open look. And a user-friendly rod just eludes him. Adelaide 3 of 11 from deep. Perth 2 of 11 from long range. Neither able to get it going so far. And Henschel can't improve the number either. Shot clock to 10. Wagstaff. Windler and Doolittle, the only 2 starters on the floor here at the moment for Perth, as Wagstaff comes up with his opening score.
Well, he caught Cheatham just slipping a little bit, not expecting Wagstaff to take him off the bounce. Outstanding finish there, high off the glass. Perth in front.
Biggest lead of the game for them. Flynn Cameron, pocket pass, Cheatham. Kenyon. Here's Cotton firing from the top of the key, and that's number 800 in the 3 count for Bryce Cotton. Puts the 36ers back on top. Detch, guarded by Kenyon. Works to an opening, and Sunday Detch comes up with his first score.
Nice move there by Detch after making a mistake on the other end, allowing too much separation. Cotton punished him.
Cotton leads Kenyon. Wants to go back to the maestro. Steps back against Sunday Detch. Just got a little deep. A whistle on the play as well.
Number 1, blue. No defensive foul.
Foul on Flynn Cameron. So free throws to come here. Adelaide over the limit.
2 minutes by Sunday. He checks out of the game.
As I mentioned, Bryce Cotton, 800 3-pointers now in the competition in game number 267. And as you can see, there's some famous names on there. Right at the top there was Shane Hill at 224. He got there the quickest. And Derek Rucker right up there as well. And Andrew Gaze with a grand total of 1,826 more than anyone else. Wow. Windler gets his own rebound and adds another 2.
13 offensive rebounds for the Wildcats. Just doing a number on Adelaide on that end of the glass.
He's Cotton from close range. Helped in by Rakocevic, that needed to be. This is good from the Wildcats, though. They're serving it up to Adelaide. Themselves in front in both the first and second quarters, and more free throws to come here.
This is where it gets tough, Andrew, especially for a guy like Michael Harris, who hasn't acquired a lot of NBL game experience. He's trying to come in there and play at the right defensive intensity, but you can't go out there and commit a foul like that.
And Adelaide 36ers, not just in this game, it's been something they've really worked on this season compared to last, is the ball pressure. A lot of hand activity, and as such, that one gets called. You just got to know the circumstance. You probably didn't need to reach in there at that particular time.
They had 2 free throws in the opening quarter, Perth. They've had 9 here in this second term. As White takes on Henschel, muscles his way down and will get the 2 and a chance at a 3-point play. That's aggressive work from Isaac White against a bigger opponent.
And again, a defensive error there. Henschel must understand what Isaac White's good at. Getting to the bucket on his right hand, give space. You don't need to stay attached to him at the hip. Sprint, retreat, get in front of him, make White change directions, and he knocks down the and-one.
Coming off a season-high 12 in New Zealand on Thursday night as part of a 4-point win, and was big in the last quarter with playing D on Parker Jackson Cartwright. Isaac White, his best game as a 36er. David Duke fires. Not it straight, but off the front of the rim. And they can slow it down for the last shot of the first half here, Adelaide. They're down 1 at the moment. They led by 1 at quarter time. Biggest margin we've seen at any stage, just 4 points.
So right now I'd be sending a double team. I wouldn't have sent a screen. I wouldn't have sent a screen offensively because it allows the double team.
Cotton beats the corner. O'Connor, great defensive pressure. They've called a foul here on David Duke.
Wow, it's late.
Well, Zylan Cheatham signaled early that there was a foul on his teammate, Matt Kenyon, in the corner. We look at that replay. Clearly, that's a foul on Kenyon's left arm.
Was it?
I can't even give you a...
It's hard to tell on there whether he got the top of the ball.
Well, I thought it was contact on the left arm that caused the ball to be dislodged.
Yeah, but if that's the case, it's an excellent call.
Right there.
Yeah, you're right. Great call. Gee, you've got good eyes, Gary.
Thank you, Andrew.
3 shots, thank you.
John really wants time out here.
And now he's been advised against it.
0.7 on the clock.
Well, Andrew, Matt Kenyon not known as a great shooter or free throw shooter, so is it even worth challenging?
Spot on.
This season, 2 of 4 coming in from the stripe. Kenyon 10 fouls on Perth overall, 9 on Adelaide as a team, and timeout called by the Wildcats.
You can't advance, of course. That's only the last 2 minutes of the game. So this one needs to draw up a play that you can get a shot in from one end of the court to the other in 0.7 of a second. That is going to be it.
It'll take some doing. Let's get in the zone again with Ben Henschel.
I like it. They're not full court pressing, which is great. The whole league loves that. Evan, good team. Nice one. Yeah, Wags. Yeah, Wags. Yeah, Wags. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe. 100% right.
In the zone with Ben Henschel there.
You know, sorry, Case, but if I'm the 30s, if I'm the Perth Wildcats, I'm putting Joe on the ball right now. Because they're going to try and go. They're going to try and make that pass. So he can throw it. See, they've got a big guy there. So if Joe's the passer, now maybe he's not that way inclined, but to try and pass over the top of the big.
Well, he's got Cheatham down here with him, Andrew, who's a supreme athlete.
They get it to him at half court. Luala-Chul turns, fires. No connection there for him. So halftime arrives, and after Perth led by 4 with a little over a minute to play in the first half, it's Adelaide on top, 45-44 at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
Well, that's a very good half of basketball by both teams. Strong on the offensive end and honest defense. We saw a little bit of Bryce Cotton have an impact, but overall, Andrew, I think both coaches would be fairly satisfied with that first half performance.
Well, Adelaide won't be happy with the O-balls of the Wildcats.
Let's get some reaction courtside with Kelsey.
I'm here with Christian Doolittle, 2 from 12 from the three-point line, but you're finding other ways to score. How have you found that first half?
You know, it's a game of runs. We let Bryce get open for a couple of threes. I feel like it's more of our defense rather than our offense. You know, they're trying to take away certain catches from ours, but we got to be able to get to the other actions.
So how do you fix that on the defensive end?
Shit, keep playing. Oh, my bad. Just keep playing defense, understanding that he's going to make shots, so he's got to make them tougher for, make all of his shots tough.
Thanks for your time. A massive first half here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. 45, the Adelaide 36ers plays 44, the Perth Wildcats. Plenty more action to come after this. Gazy and I will break it down after this.
Goodness me! Oh, my! The end! Bryce Cotton cannot be stopped!
The biggest story of the offseason was the Adelaide 36ers. They signed Bryce Cotton, 8-time All-NBL first team, champion, you name it. He's the greatest import that we have ever seen.
No one did anything wrong in the situation. Like, Bryce was a free agent to have 9 years at a franchise, and the success that he had and the franchise itself during that period. We can't get lost in that and not appreciate that.
With him going to Adelaide, I don't care. I feel like it's going to be no different than how it was in practice. A lot of times I took it upon myself to guard him in practice, but I feel like it only made him better, just like it made me better.
We're going to go out there, we're going to compete, and I hope I guard him, and I hope I can, get under his skin a little bit. And I'm just excited to play against, a guy that I've learned so much from.
I know it's going to be hyped up because of what he's been able to accomplish in Perth, and now he's going to a different team. But my preparation is going to be the same. I'm going to be locked in to try to win that game.
These are the battles we live for. This is going to be one of the biggest games of the NBL season. Guys, the caliber that he is, and being with Perth his whole career and moving on, I'm super excited for that battle. I'm not going to shy down from any challenge.
Bryce Cotton up against his former team for the first time in NBL26. He's drained 3 threes already, right on cue. But it's been a tough start for Adelaide 36ers. Perth Wildcats have come out absolutely firing. The contest has been fierce.
Yeah, this has been a very good contest. I love the energy that's being displayed. Teams went out in that second quarter today, each scored 27 points. The big problem, though, for the Adelaide 36ers is the 13 offensive rebounds by the Perth Wildcats.
Yeah, it is, and it's something you got to get back to your fundamentals, box out, and then get after it because they've dominated that area. But by and large, I think the Perth Wildcats will be happy with their job on Bryce Cotton. 3 of 10 from the field, all 3 of them coming from the three-point line. But we know how dynamic he can be. So across all the checks and balances, I think they've done a decent job on him.
At the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights, we're looking at Christian Doolittle. He's got 8 points to the half. He's led the way for the Perth Wildcats in some form. Yeah,
he's been solid without being spectacular. I think he's really had an impact on the game. Of course, he's been part of the reason for that good offensive rebounding. As we look at his numbers, he's got 8 points on 4 of 9. Andrew, I still think there are times during the game where he can engage himself, be more dominant, ask for the basketball to try and make plays.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen what he's capable of doing. His three-point shot is not falling like it was towards the latter stages of last season, but we know he has the capability of doing that. But again, when you look at all the things that could have gone wrong for him, he's one thing that's kept him going through a period there where it was at the start when the emotions were high. He was a big-time part of it.
Well, they're 2 from 14 from the three-point line, the Perth Wildcats. But on the other side of things, Bryce Cotton, 9 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He's been solid, but probably not the start he wanted against his former team.
Yeah, Bryce is always going to play the right way, and he's doing what's required right now to keep the defense honest. But I think he's knocked down 3 threes in this first half. That's enough success to allow him to feel good about himself for the balance of this game. But if Perth loosen up at all, if they lose focus on Bryce, he could go for 25 easily in this second half.
Well, we've got a game coming up after this. We've got 20 minutes more of this game, but we want to get over to Sydney to get some reaction courtside. We've got Joe Healy and Brad Rosen over there. How are you guys going?
Hey guys, great to be with you and really looking forward to this one here in Sydney. Brad, arguably 2 informed teams of the competition. The Breakers, they pumped the Hawks by 42, narrowly lost to Adelaide, and then the Kings have won their last 2 on the road. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I'm excited for today because both teams are coming in here with backing that they know that they can win. New Zealand are one of those teams that if you get their best, they can beat anyone in the league, and we saw what the Kings have done. Bull Quoll's now starting to step up. He's been great the last couple of weeks, so I'm really looking forward to today.
It should be good. The Kings got up by 22 points last time these 2 teams played on this court. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit closer today, so can't wait for it, guys.
Looking forward to that one. As I said, 20 minutes left here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Perth Wildcats and the Adelaide 36ers. Plenty more basketball after this.
Yeah, dude! We got 10, 9, 8. Oh, yeah! Yes! Yes! Listen. Hey! Learned that from you, BC. Hey! Oh my God!
Perth's Ben Henschel in the zone for us in this one. Kyle Chalmers, Olympic gold medalist on the left there. Jaden Stevenson, former Collingwood and North Melbourne footballer who is trying to get a gig here with Port Adelaide. And the chairman of the boards, Mark Davis, is with us as well in the house. Stars everywhere, including the great man Tex Walker from the Adelaide Crows. It is the hottest ticket in town. It's another sellout here today. That's 27 in a row. And for Jesse Wagstaff, well, he joins the top 10 all-time in terms of NBL games played. 516 today. And he'll probably get up to about number 6 and pass Lynette Copeland. He stays healthy for the remainder of the season. The ones above him might be beyond him for the 39-year-old, who is the oldest player in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Possession arrow with the Wildcats as we get underway. Term number 3. Been a good one so far. Both teams in front in each of the first 2 quarters. Biggest margin of the game, just 6 for Adelaide in term number 2. While Perth led by 4 with a minute to play in the first half before Adelaide took over.
Okay, Adelaide did a good job in their first phase defensive play per possession in that first half. It was just the defensive rounding that let them down, as another questionable call from John Riley's perspective goes against the Wildcats.
John Riley was adjudicated. He took off from out of bounds. Foot was on the line, so an out-of-bounds call.
Shot clock to red numbers for Cotton. Bounce pass from close range. Well, Humphries bump taking the shot just enough to put him off balance, and he misses from close range. They want Luala Chul. He's fouled quickly by Isaac Humphries. Going to be a third personal on Humphries, and we've spoken about the rebounding problems they already have. Most problematic for them at the offensive end. But the interesting thing is, while Adelaide are second on the ladder 7-2, they have won the rebound count just 3 times this year. It's an area of concern.
Not a smart foul by Isaac Humphries as well. He's got to understand how important he is to the team. Probably a little frustrated because he missed the bunny down the other end. And the reach-in foul on Joe Lawala-Chul getting 3. And I think they're going to have to make a call on him as they don't do it. They keep him in there.
Flynn Cameron picked up his 3rd as well, just after that. So he sits down, and Isaac White, who played so well against New Zealand on Thursday night when Flynn Cameron was in foul trouble, comes back, losing it out of court, Joe Lawala-Chul. So turnover number 5 for Perth. Adelaide has 1 turnover in the game.
This means he trusts Isaac Humphries more than he trusts Flynn Cameron, because he got his 3rd and straight away he comes out. Isaac stays in there.
Well, also I believe with the form that Rakocevic is in, he's got 12 points already in the game. I feel as DJ gets his swatted off the glass, Humphries with the cleanup. But I think Mike Wells feels like he can just go ahead and let Isaac play, knowing that he can bring Rakocevic in the game.
Adelaide by 3. Early stages of the 3rd. 2nd versus 5th on the ladder. Here's David Dukes Jr. going to work, and nice reverse finish from him.
Very strong at the point of contact. He just got White off of him with ease and finishes at the rack.
Vasiljevic. Over to Cheatham. Now Cotton. Guarded by Jaron. Really, it opens up for Cheatham. Nothing on offer. They get the open man. DJ. He can't get it to go. Humphries, the O-board, the putback, and a foul.
They work so hard on the defensive end to scramble, and they get Vasiljevic to miss that deep 3, but no box out, and Humphries, who has been into this game from the moment we tipped it, cleans up the glass.
Well, White was only in for 1 possession, and they make another change. Harris comes in, and I think that's probably more for what he sees Mike Wells on the defensive end and trying to guard the penetration. And
David Duke Jr. spinning baseline. Oh, collapsed on him and fouled him. He's going to the free throw line for his 2 of 2 so far.
Well, Drew, what you just said about White maybe not being able to contain the penetration, maybe it's not about the Adelaide player, and it's just about the individual talent of David Duke Jr., because he went in his bag right there and took Michael Harris to the rack as Wells and White talk it over, and it doesn't look like it's a friendly combo.
David Duke, 4 years, 55 games in the NBA with the Spurs in Brooklyn. 6 games this year, this calendar year in the NBA. Last season, of course.
Played in the Big East at Providence, the same school as Bryce Cotton.
In case Isaac White went in for that 1 possession and got yanked out, it's the equivalent of being sent to the store by your wife, picking up something, and then you get home and she sends you back out to get something else.
Speaking from experience, Derek Rucker. There's Duke Jr. Got a good look at it and comes up with the finishing touches. So he's got 11 in the game to lead the Wildcats.
He's a solid basketball player, Drew. He's going to provide great value.
That's a good one. This is a good roster the Wildcats have got.
Oh! Well, someone on that roster better rotate and tag up on Humphries, because he's playing like a man possessed as we look at the Amy replay. Great job by Cotton doing what he does, and Humphries gets up, slams that one down on the Wildcats big men.
And Doolittle about 1 meter too low. Just had to meet Isaac Humphries a little further. When he's on that runway, that's a powerful unit going to the bucket. It's hard to stop.
Kelsey Brown courtside.
John really was already concerned about the Rakocevic and Humphries' impact on the game in the first half. I'm sure he'd be devastated by it now. They've got 25 points between them. He said they need physicality in the paint. That's what he addressed last time he spoke about those two, even more so needed now.
Here's Windler being influential, and that's a nice finish as well. 11.7 boards now for Windler.
Andrew, he's got a great touch with that right-hand floater, keeping in mind he is a natural left-hander.
3 minutes played, term number 3. Isaac White turns the corner. Tough shot, gets it done though. He's got 5 in the game. Adelaide on top by 2. Both teams in front in each of the 3 quarters so far. Been an arm wrestle. It's been high energy. It's been entertaining. We trust you're enjoying our coverage as well as Windler goes to work once more. He's got 13.
I like the play case because they know that Isaac Humphrey's got that foul problems. So they give it to Joe Luala-Chul, and he just puts it to the deck and attacks him.
Cheatham in the corner. Can't complete it. Adelaide 4 of 15 from deep, 27%. Oh, Wildcats 3 of 16 have had a tough time of it. Those numbers continue to head south now. They're just 18% from deep. Big screen, White on really. As Cotton stares down David Duke Jr. to Providence. They'll let him go at it. And Cotton, with single digits on the shot clock, gets it to Humphries, gets it back, reaching in. Really's going to be called for the foul. It's going to be his second personal, 3rd team foul on Perth in this term.
And Duke did a good job of staying with Cotton in a couple of ISO situations. And that's a tough assignment, Andrew, not only from a physical point of view, but just staying mentally locked in and focused.
Yeah, it is. And how quick, when Bryce gives it up, he doesn't just stand and wait for it to come back. He's constantly moving, puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Just like that. He restarts to Rakocevic and gets it back outside from Cheatham, the front of the rim. Clearer. Skying high for the rebound.
Mismatch.
Perth killing Adelaide on the boards at the moment. 33-19 is the rebound count. You wonder if Adelaide can sustain being in the game with that number if it keeps going that way. Here's David Duke Jr. against Rakocevic. Tried to get him in the air. He wasn't biting on it. Henschel, one on the shot clock. Cotton stripped him off it. Well, Henschel said he was the Cotton stopper, but he wasn't there.
Beautiful one-on-one move in transition. Had it in his right hand, took him to Europe and finished with his left.
First score in this quarter for Bryce Cotton. He's up to 11. Season average of 28 to lead the competition. David Duke Jr. in the corner. That's off the mark. 2 of 7 from long range now for Duke. Ball knocked down out of court and some dispute about it, but it is going to be a Perth ball.
Just good hands, great hands. Perhaps the familiarity of these guys going at it on a daily basis for a couple of seasons. David Duke Jr. checks out of the game. Detch comes back in.
Adelaide doing a very good job with ball control, and they only have 1 turnover. Unfortunate for that, because with the offensive rebound disparity, they'd be in real tough shape in terms of the possession game.
Average 11 turnovers a game, Adelaide. Top 3 in the NBL and looking after the ball. Cotton, well, he had control of it and then just bumped off balance and had to give it up.
And it's in games like this, Andrew, where the scoring opportunities, even though he's taken 12 shots, it hasn't been easy on him. But you see that he's able to do so many other things. He's got 5 assists, he's got 3 steals and 4 rebounds. And he's just a complete basketball player. We often don't recognize that because we're so enamored with the scoring, as Windler again finishes with the right hand, Case.
15 now for Windler on 6 of 10 from the field. He's got 9 boards and an assist as well. Just the 1 turnover. Super efficient from him as Cotton fires. Got after it. Newell was off the money. Got to the baseline. That too wouldn't work. Loose ball scramble for it now, and they're hustling hard. Dragging it back in there, Doolittle. Forcing the jump ball, so we go to the possession arrow.
And Drew, you know the rule. When that ball's on the floor like that, you can basically do anything you want to the man with the basketball.
Well, you can't usually, but
what are you talking about?
What we've seen this season, you certainly can.
Ball, please. Ball, please.
What a contest, Case.
Exceptional, isn't it? Value for money, whether you're in the house or watching at home on the TV. Here's Vasiljevic, worked into the corner, wide open, and comes up with a triple. He's into double digits.
Too easy, in rhythm.
Real simple play. Screener action. Should never get that wide open on a simple play like that.
Henschel gives it up to Doolittle. Single digits on the shot clock. Edge picks up the dribble. Here's Windler. That's from deep on the floor, but it's all the bottom of the net.
Well, Andrew, he raised your eyebrows when he took one from deep several possessions ago from almost the same spot.
Well, the difference between that one and the one earlier was just no pass offense. At least that one there was a kick out.
Rakocevic muscles inside, and he's off to the free throw line.
Dylan Windler, though, grossly underrated in my view. He's another one that's putting on some sort of show here. 9 boards to go along with the 18 points on a very efficient 7 of 11 from the field.
He can do a little bit of everything, Dylan Windler. Already this season, we've seen him pick up 15 rebounds in a game against New Zealand, which is the equal high, the season high in terms of points, 26 so far, which came against Cairns into round 4.
And the numbers may not support my instinct, but it seems, Case, when he rebounds well, he scores better.
Here's Doolittle. Windle with it again. Ditch, guarded by Cheatham, decides to fire over the top, and it was a good option.
Well, I'm not sure it was a good option, Case. I understand where you're coming from. There was
it was a good outcome.
Yeah.
Vasiljevic gets it back, goes back to Rakocevic, and he's on a tear. Nick Rakocevic with a season best 15 points on 6 of 7.
Again, DJ's a very good player in that 2-man game on a single side like that.
Here's Doolittle double team. Vasiljevic came to help, forced the 4-pass, and they coughed it up. White shares it with Bryce Cotton. Guarded by Henschel. Doolittle takes over the double team. Rakocevic back to Cotton. This is labour intensive from the 5-time MVP. They're making him work hard, but he still gets it done.
A tough shot, and to me, Henschel, you need more help. You're a lot tighter when you're coming out.
Aguera fills off the 3, his first of the game.
Oh, again, Case, probably not the ideal option, but that's twice now. They'll take those 6 points any way you can get them.
David Duke Jr. just reaching out to Aguera to say, hey, you've got to be a lot higher when Bryce comes off that screen.
White in the corner. He knuckles a 3 down.
He's after a somewhat low shooting percentage from the 3 in the first half. They've come to life both teams here in the third.
Perth were 2 of 14 at halftime from deep, and 4 of 7 in this quarter. This time it's Henschel from close range, but he's fouled in the process and off to the stripe.
Great cut there by Henschel, reading the play beautifully, and actually provided a bailout for Dylan Windler, who got a bit too deep on his baseline penetration. We got hockey substitutions about to happen, including for the shooter. The intensity levels are high. Both teams expecting a lot from themselves on the defensive end.
And then Adelaide go back to that lineup you were talking about earlier with the 2 bigs on at the same time as Humphries comes back into the game. There's some good options at both sides of the floor.
Henschel a perfect 13 of 13 from the free throw line this season. Only Jaron really, without a missing 15, has a better strike rate. Never in doubt. Derek, they sit down, knocking both down. Ben Gristy, popular man here in Adelaide as he continues his rehabilitation from that neck injury sustained at the Blitz when the rim came down on him in practice. Good to see him smiling and courtside here. It's Adelaide by 1, less than 2 minutes to play, term number 3. We go to an 8-2 start to the season, Adelaide, and Isaac White is growing in confidence. They've got 5 players in double digits now, Adelaide.
He may possess the best D-cell move in the league.
Yeah. Asking lots of questions of Perth. Now, it's Windler, exploring, back to Duke, bounces into White, fires the shot off balance, can't get it to go. Vasiljevic pulls the trigger quickly, and that's all the bottom of the net, and John Riley's had enough. Timeout, Perth. Vasiljevic up to 13. The margin is at 6. It's never been bigger in the game.
Well, Andrew, this is probably going to be the new identity that DJ finds himself taking. Big shots, critical shots, momentum threes like we just saw him knock down.
Yeah, and he hasn't really gone hunting. He's only 3 of 6 from the field, so he's been patient with his looks. 2 of 4 from the 3-point line. John really wouldn't have wanted that call, that timeout, and burn one here with only a minute remaining, or a little over a minute in the third, but felt necessary to call it. This one coming up next with the Sydney Kings taking on the New Zealand Breakers. The Kings, they seem to have found their mojo.
Yeah, but a tricky opponent with New Zealand. Anytime PJC is out there, anything is possible, Case.
He was outstanding on Thursday night. It was a very good performance from Adelaide to get the better of New Zealand in Christchurch. And Mike Wells said that during that game, they played their best basketball that they had played all season, and they needed to get across the line. But terrific matchups still to come, as you say. Interestingly, the last 5 games have been won by the road team. Now, we are tracking at a 60% strike rate for road teams this year. Went back through the history books. We had a run of 7 road wins in a row back in 2023, but 5 road wins in a row that we're sitting on at the moment. That is rare in any competition.
Oh, my word. And the Jack Jumpers' recent run of outs at home highlights that, but it's a tough season. Very little separates a lot of these teams from top to bottom.
Luke Jr. hands it over. Wildcats, Adelaide cannot afford to foul here. Wildcats spins around, adds another 2. He's got 9 points and 4 boards.
Much needed bucket there from JLA, and he's taken one in the face, and he's holding his left eye region. Bit of concern from the Perth Wildcats bench as you have a look at it. Does a good job.
Oh, right there, DJ. It was DJ that reached in that accidentally, bing, right in the eye.
Good. We know how serious that can be. It's Dave O'Hickey, a large chunk of the early part of the season. And hasn't he come back in some sort of style? Triple-double for the Illawarra Hawks in their 17-point winning Cairns on Friday night. Just enormous numbers. What a talent he is, and the Hawks with him back in harness and Frolling still to come. I wouldn't be riding off the reigning champs just yet. Here's Rakocevic off the front of the rim. Duke grabs the rebound. Pepper hasn't seen a lot of it so far, just 3.5 minutes for him.
And a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Doolittle needs to be more aggressive in that situation.
Here's Pepper. We know he can knock down a 3, and there's the complete evidence of it.
Big shot. Elijah Pepper. The ability to come off the bench anytime he is called upon and knock down a shot is uncanny.
It's nice to see Elijah Pepper, not David Jukes, on the ball right now.
Well, you got to send someone now.
Adelaide by 1. Cotton elevates and knocks down the triple. They didn't take the advice of the commentary team, and they paid the price. So Adelaide turned for home, a quarter to play, and they lead at 76-72 in front of a sold-out Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Bryce Cotton against his former team, up to 17, and leading them a merry dance.
One term to play here in Adelaide. It's been an intense and impressive contest so far. The 36ers is 76. The Perth Wildcats trail by 4. They're 72 heading into this fourth quarter. Elijah Pepper starts this term. John really wants to run a few more plays for him, considering he got hot by the end there. And defensively, John really had to say contest and rebound.
Thanks very much, Kelsey. 35 lead changes, 14 times tied. Adelaide has led for 19 minutes, Perth just 3. But this one ain't over yet as David Duke elevates and adds to his tally. He's now up to 13.
Well, the problem for the Perth Wildcats is Adelaide's offense is clicking. They score 18 in the first, 27 in the second, and then they put up 31 in the third case.
Equaled their highest scoring third quarter of the season. Here's Cameron playing with 3 fouls. Rakocevic finds Cotton and an open spot, and he makes them pay again. Cotton up to 20.
Shooting that wide open is like shooting into a funnel for Bryce Cotton.
But the work that he does off the ball, the way he sets it up, the footwork is just exceptional.
Wildcats athletically comes up with a 2, so he's into double digit, the third Perth player there. 11 points, 4 boards for Wildcats. Rakocevic with 15, a season best, and 4 rebounds. And Humphries 13 and 5 have been a good tandem. As Flynn Cameron measures to 3. Off the mark, Rakocevic kept it alive, but stolen by Elijah Pepper. Not a lot of support ahead of him in terms of teammates, so slows it down here. Wildcats on the deck against Rakocevic, athletically to the baseline, couldn't finish. Adelaide by 3. 90 seconds done in the last quarter. Cotton looking dangerous. Got in the air. Gave it to Cheatham. Shares it with Cameron. And now they reset. Cotton fouled by Jesse Wagstaff. Going to be his second personal.
JLA went a bit early that last time on the offensive end, trying to attack Rakocevic. May have warranted a call, but probably better off just running more offense there, getting into the structure, Andrew.
No doubt. Cheatham gets it from Cotton, goes back in that direction. Red numbers on the shot clock. He's forced into a tough one. Missed by far.
Good individual matchup right there. Duke Jr. doing a solid job on Cotton in those ISO scenarios.
6 of 10 from long range, Bryce Cotton. Just 1 of 8 inside the line at the moment. Windler off the mark. Cotton taps it to the advantage of Isaac White. Rakocevic in support. He rolls it down low. And Rakocevic and Windler, 2 major contributors in this game. He's off the mark, Rakocevic, but it came back to him. Cotton elevates quickly, and he knocks down another 3. That's 7 in the game now for Bryce.
Dead-eye offensive rebound by the Wildcats, and Cotton makes them pay.
Other end, Duke Jr. earns a trip to the free throw line. 7 threes on the Amy replay here for Bryce Cotton. Only Angus Glover with 8 as more.
That's bad judgment on the defense. It's against action, the handoff action, and he goes underneath the screen. Lock and trail, okay, you might be exposed for some penetration at the rim, but when he's 6 of 10 prior to that one, take the odds to him getting to the rim and rely on help rather than just allowing that 3-ball.
You've got nothing to say about the big?
But not on that one, because right there, he needed to go over the top of the screen.
Yep.
The big's got to be cautious.
Turn him into a driver.
Yeah, the big's is a little cautious because of the keeps action. The big keeps it, so it's different from the on-ball.
Well, guess what? I'm happy for Rakocevic to keep it in that instance.
Yeah, exactly. So fine over the top.
Cameron trying to shake Pepper. Good athleticism from close range. Be disappointed with the finish there. Did all the hard work and he couldn't complete it. It's a great wrestle there for the rebound by the Wildcats, and Doolittle charges off as well. Really, pocket pass. Windler in the corner. Duke works baseline, takes on Rakocevic, went at him physically, and Rakocevic thought it was an offensive foul, but referee didn't see it that way, Michael Aylan, and free throws to come.
Well, Rakocevic feels that Duke Jr. extended the elbows.
No.
Nope.
No, it's a good play. Didn't push off, he just got fouled.
Now, there was a left arm that flailed late, but I didn't think that was anything to worry about.
Big crowd in the house tonight, Kelsey Brown, I should say.
Yeah, we know that Adelaide turns out every single game, but we knew they'd show up to support their new king, Bryce, against his old team. We can confirm it is a crowd record here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre for the 36ers. 10,029 people in the crowd. Perth Wildcats have done a good job of silencing them at times, but boy, they're getting into it now.
27 consecutive sellouts here in Adelaide for the 36ers. Hottest ticket in town. They lead by 3, 7 minutes on the clock here, and Cotton is putting on a show against his former team.
They're going to have to knock down some walls in this place, Case.
Bryce might build us a new one. Here's Humphries rolling to the hoop with the right hand. Cheatham the overboard to keep it alive for Vasiljevic. Those finishing touches. That's off the mark. Aquera running. Right where they want to be, the Wildcats. In the frame. 6.5 to play. Pepper gets it back from Aquera. A tough shot in the corner. Lap of honor and jumped out. 7 of 24 from deep. The Wildcats at 29%. Adelaide have amped it up since half-time from long range. They've hit 11 threes after they had 4 at half-time. Cotton behind the back. Showed Duke some tricks. Fired over Aquera. Came to Humphries. From close range, it wouldn't fit. He kept it alive. Then Cameron decides to slow it down, and they reset Adelaide. Up 3. Red numbers on the shot clock. Cotton feeds Cheatham. Stepped out of court.
Shot ball out of bounds.
And that offensive rebounding disparity is gone, Andrew. The 36ers in this second half already have 11 offensive rebounds to the 1 for the Wildcats. So wow, that's totally flipped.
That's good adjustments at the halftime break.
38-31 the rebound count overall in favour of Perth, who led 27-14 in that category at the half. Here's really overdue, and he knocks down the 3.
Nice action there by Doolittle. Sets up really for the 3 ball.
82 apiece, 5:37 to play in Adelaide. Like 2 heavyweight boxes, isn't it? Just blow for blow here. And 82 apiece with 5.5 to play. Where else would you like to be than watching this unfold?
That's exceptional. It's a privilege to be here to watch 2 quality teams go at it. And just the intensity they're playing at. Got a genuine playoff type feel. This doesn't have that normal run-of-the-mill regular season game. There's a bit more at stake, and Bryce turned it on, particularly in his second half. 7 of 11 from the 3-point line. Only 8 of 20 overall, but 7 of 11 with the type of defensive pressure that he has to deal with is just exceptional and somewhat surprising yet to have a free throw.
Was lived up to all the billing. Adelaide against Perth, tied at 82, 5:37 to play. Bryce Cotton has hit 7 threes in this game to take his season tally to 39. He hit 100 last season at 43%. He's 7 clear of Nathan Sobey, then Schofield, Bryce Hamilton, Milton Doyle round out the top 5. Chris Golding had 131 threes at 38% to lead the NBL last season. The 36ers, though, got their hands full here. They're led by as many as 6 in the second and third quarters, but Perth are back on level terms as Bryce Cotton lost a handle on it, and they're going to turn it over here for the 4th time in the game.
Bryce went to that hard crossover that he's so great at utilizing from right to left, and it just got away from him. Wildcats ball after the stop, after the timeout. Crucial possession that one was.
It's 4 turnovers for Adelaide. We saw in round 5 the Breakers had just 2 turnovers. Franchise record for them against the Jack Jumpers as really pulls the trigger. That's off the mark. Loose ball. Doolittle did well against Cheatham. Out muscled him to keep it alive. Now the ball knocked down out of court. And it will be a Perth ball with 12 on the shot clock.
It's an exceptional game from a turnover standpoint. 4 is extraordinarily good, and 7 is acceptable for the Wildcats.
Yeah.
Doolittle guarded by Cheatham.
Great matchup.
Marquee matchup, and Doolittle went at him and threw the foul, so Cheatham picks up his second personal. Third team foul on Adelaide with 5 minutes to play. Free throws to come.
Andrew, two guys in their physical prime who have been outstanding performers in the National Basketball League as Mike Wells has a look on, trying to figure out what he needs to do.
Just a reminder to get social behind the scenes for the NBL. You can follow the official channel, scan the QR code there. All the links to the channels, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, or Snapchat. Cross it. Hit up Derek Rucker. He's always keen for a chat or some feedback.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Case. Thanks for stoking that fire. Follow me. I need followers.
We'll follow you to Perth. Is that trip still underway, the planning? Just to wind people up a little bit. Here's DJ Vasiljevic. He got away from really. Decided to go back to the top of the key. Cotton off the mark. Cheatham, the athleticism to get upstairs, but he's coughed it up. Luke Jr. Back for Doolittle, who pulls the trigger on a three, and Perth lead here by 4 points with 4 and a bit to play.
Huge bucket. And a bit of good fortune for the Perth Wildcats, because Cheatham just erupted out of the sky to grab that offensive rebound, loses his footing upon landing, and that leads to the run out. Doolittle, who I've pressed to be more aggressive, steps in, knocks down the 3 ball.
Bryce could see it coming as well. He took a swipe at the ball, trying to cause a foul without giving it unsportsmanlike. They didn't call it. And Doolittle, who's had his problems from the three-point line, only 25% on the season.
Yep.
But knocks that one down in transition, wide open. It's only 4 points, but it just seems like a bit of a margin.
Well, he and Jaron Riley is a plus 13, Doolittle's a plus 8.
Perth has scored the last 10 points here in 3 minutes to take the lead, but Isaac White breaks the drought. He's up to 12.
Renowned for his 3-ball, but gee, he can get to the rim, and he's good and crafty around the rim to finish in the traffic.
Really tough shot, draws contact, foul on Humphreys. So 4th team foul on Adelaide, 4th on Humphreys as well.
And Andrew, that move there by Jaron really shows you his savvy and his knowledge. He sold that foul. He put the referees in a position where they had to blow the whistle, created contact, and then was still able to get the shot off to go to the line to shoot two.
You're spot on. He made it awkward enough on the contact.
Right.
For the officials to think that something happened. He's yet to miss, and it's going to be a while before you see a miss from really, because that is a real efficient free throw shooting technique. Not a lot can go wrong on that free throw.
That's 17 without a miss.
I'm not sure about the hair in the face, but we can address that another time. But he continues to make a good case for himself as one of the top rookies in the competition, Case.
He does indeed. Super impressive when you consider he's averaging 9 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Hit 12 threes at 39% coming into this game. He has done it all. Overtaken Ben Henschel in terms of their numbers. Windler upstairs for the rebound. Now Doolittle.
They got numbers.
And they got momentum at the moment, really. From way downtown, elects to use Windler. In turn, Doolittle, who fires from deep. It wouldn't work. Windler the rebound.
Just been a beast on the boards. Windler.
13 for him now.
They're playing with a sense of confidence now, Case. They smell a W.
Doolittle puts it on the deck against Cheatham. Hung in the air and adds the 2. He's got 14, and it's timeout Mike Wells here.
You could feel it all throughout that possession as they got an offensive rebound, moved the ball. You could see that they just had the 36ers on edge.
Let's go in the zone with Ben Henschel.
Good pass, dude. There's a guy in help. Yeah, Pat. Yeah, Pat. Boom. Yes, dude.
Ben Henschel in the zone. He's enjoying this. He's got 6 points of his own and leading the charge from the bench as well.
No doubt, if enthusiasm could be measured in points, Andrew, he'd have 30.
Yeah, absolutely. But the story of the night for me is Dylan Windler.
Yeah.
He has been a difference maker, 7 of 12 from the field. And usually you see he's going to take more than the 4 3-point field goal attempts, but just a complete beast on the boards.
The top 10 in the league in rebounding, averages 7 a game. And as I mentioned earlier this season, came up with a game-high 15 in New Zealand, which is the equal season best. And we've spoken about the rivalry between these teams. It's been going for 45 years, but the Wildcats have had the better of it in the last 5 years. They've won 15 of the last 20 against Adelaide, including their last 3 here. And overall, they're 6, won the last 6. So Adelaide with some work to do. Cheatham's off the mark here.
Not the guy who wanted shooting a 3-ball on that possession.
And David Duke Jr. did a really good job of denying Cotton the ball, and he's been solid in this game as well. 16 points, 4 assists.
Wildcats, Adelaide with 14 fouls here, need to be careful. And they've been called for the 5th, and free throws to come here as Rakocevic with a hand in the cookie jar gets his 3rd.
Well, I like offensively the shape that the Perth Wildcats have adapted in this 4th quarter. They've really stretched out the Sixers on the defensive end, been able to put the ball on the deck, create opportunities at the rim, and kick out 3-ball opportunities. JLA misses the first.
Gave up Burgers early in the game.
He's struggling. It's 1 of 5 now from the free throw line. 63% shooter on the season. 6. My goodness.
Well, they've left 9 on the stripe, Perth. Just 65% from the free throw line. The door is ajar. Cotton is off the mark. And Perth with a chance to extend the margin here.
This is a must-stop possession.
Looking that way, Jaron really can't connect. All knocked down and out of court. Adelaide will come up with the last touch by Joe Luala-Chul.
Right there, I thought that was a possession to go back at Doolittle. Really had an open shot, didn't want to turn it down.
Just 8 points for Adelaide so far in this last quarter. They are 3 of 17 from the field. Since 3-quarter time, cannot buy a bucket at the moment. Glenn Cameron's off the front of the rim.
They're at that time right now. John really wants to push the ball, but
there's a mismatch right here. DJ and Doolittle. Doolittle's got to look to exploit it.
They give him the rock. Now he's confronted by Rakocevic. They lob it down low. Joe Luala-Chul much to work with there. David Duke behind the back. Red numbers on the shot clock. Speculative attempt off the mark. Never looked likely. Ball out of court. And they're going to review it here with 1:31 to play. Same indecision.
He's not going to review because it's a shot clock violation anyway.
We have a shot clock violation. We also have an out of bounds. So can we
see Windler and Cameron tussling.
Did come off Cameron
before the shot clock
but at that point, by the time the ball lands out of bounds, takes that bounce inbounds, but the clock is still running at that point, Andrew. And as you see in the background there,
might have a, what was it, 0.2 of a second or something?
I think it's expired. Because does that land out of bounds? That's the key.
Yeah, I think it does. Hits the line. Yeah. Well summarized by you, Eric.
Well, when you have nothing in your life other than basketball, you get good at these things, Andrew. You watch a lot of basketball.
Spot on. And they'd be happy to use the shot clock, but they'd want a better shot at the end of it than what David Duke just put up.
And this is a challenge case right now. You've got to find a way to manufacture a shot or a playmaking opportunity for Bryce without forcing it.
Time running out for Adelaide. 4-1 at home this season. The only defeat here was a 24-point loss to Sydney when the Kings put the clamps on Bryce and restricted him to 7. Here he is on really. Running out of room, lost the handle on it, and out of court. So they turned it over again.
Wouldn't be too many games where Bryce has played a game where he's yet to take a free throw for his 23 points. That's not all that common.
And he's only Made 1 2-pointer. Made 7 threes. He's been outstanding from deep.
Down the last 60 seconds from Adelaide. Perth happy to milk the clock, as you would expect in this scenario. Red numbers now for Wildcats. Tough shot, couldn't get it done. Humphries the rebound. Desperate to score here, Adelaide. Need to make something happen, and Flynn Cameron's going to be aggressive. Kicks it outside, and White.
Great play there by Flynn Cameron. Pushed that ball. Kicked it out to an open Isaac White. Corner 3. 3-point game.
Shot clock going to be some 20 seconds inside the game clock. Adelaide cannot afford to foul. Doolittle in a mismatch there with Cameron. Fires, can't get it to go. Loose ball. Adelaide have got it. And Bryce Cotton with his foot on the accelerator. Kicks it across. White to level the game.
Oh, same spot, same shot.
In and out.
Just a little bit more defensive pressure on that second one, but that was in and out.
Great push by Cotton. And outstanding vision to get that ball over to White. And man, look at this one. Rattles in and out.
Last time Bryce Cotton didn't get to the free throw line in a game. You have to go back to round 3, 2024, the 2025 season. So 55 games back since Bryce Cotton hasn't been to the free throw line. Margin is 3 at the moment. And that's a big finish there from the Wildcats, who's had his struggles, as we've mentioned. 1 of 6 from the free throw line before that one dropped, and it gives his team a 4-point buffer. So 13 points, 5 boards now for JLA, a couple of blocks as well.
JLA, when you're 3 of 8 from the free throw line, you might just want to
right, a bit more humility you're asking for, Drew.
Right.
Well, we know that is not in his DNA. And he knocks down 2 big ones.
Yeah, that was huge, for sure.
Reminder, Sydney and New Zealand Breakers still to come this afternoon to complete round 8 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. And what a performance this has been from the Wildcats.
Great game, Case.
Yep.
High quality game, real intense by both teams in the defensive end. And let's hope this next one coming up between the Kings and the Breakers can match it.
Both teams in front in each of the 4 quarters. Adelaide led at 82-76 with 7.5 to play. So since then, Wildcats went on a 10-0 run. Sharon really got involved by getting contributions across the board, and Adelaide just weren't able to stay with them.
But you look at the construct of both of these teams, and the unique thing about the NBL is you must be able to play a certain style during the regular season to accumulate enough victories, and a lot of that revolves around shot making and scoring points. But when the postseason comes, you must be designed to be tough on the defensive end because the nature and the style of play changes.
Across the board, I think it's the best defensive season we've had.
The numbers reflect that as well.
Right now, if you're the Adelaide 36ers, your priority here is trying to get a good look for a 3-ball.
Mm. You wouldn't take a quick 2?
And then you got, no, because then you got to play the foul game.
Cameron restarts. Here's Cotton. Work to an opening. Fires. Can't connect. And now they will foul Doolittle. So free throws to come here with 8.4 on the clock, and Perth up 5.
A nicely designed play to get Cotton an opportunity, and he did a good job of creating space. Just wasn't able to knock down the shot, and now the Perth Wildcats start to celebrate.
19 of 28 from the free throw line. Adelaide 13 of 17, so rare disparity in the free throw attempts for a road team here in Adelaide as well. But they've worked hard for this and been impressive.
And balanced scoring from the guys who they want it from. JLA 13, Windler 18. Doolittle about to knock down his 16th point of the game. Jaron Riley with 10 and David Duke Jr. with 16.
Yeah.
Here's Cameron. 5 seconds on the clock. Humphries, reverse, wouldn't work. And the Perth Wildcats are going to maintain their dominance over the Adelaide 36ers. They have won 7 straight games against Adelaide in their last 4 here as well. And in the final analysis, they do it by 7 points. It's Perth 94, Adelaide 87.
That was a terrific game of basketball. And ultimately, Perth's fourth quarter defense, after sliding in the second and the third, changed the fortunes for them in this basketball game, and they get a big road win.
Yeah, and some good adjustments at the halftime break in regards to what Adelaide had to do to keep themselves in the game, and wasn't enough in the end, but they'll go away from this feeling reasonably content about where they're heading. Now, you're always disappointed in a loss, and as you should be, particularly in a game, an emotional game like this one against Bryce, but there's no need to panic if the Adelaide 36ers, you can easily see that they've got the makings for a genuine shot. That's a deep run in the postseason.
Just going to show the parity that we've got here, and so many teams in the hunt. That was impressive from the Wildcats, restricting Adelaide to just 11 points in that final quarter. After Adelaide led by 6 with 7.5 to play, and the Wildcats finished full of running there. 18 points to 5, they close out the game.
Yeah, and when you talk about the type of job they did on Bryce Cotton, look, it wasn't to the level that the Sydney Kings were able to do when they came here, but I thought they were just annoying enough and made Bryce's life hard enough on the offensive end where he wasn't able to impact the game as he's normally capable of.
And on the defensive end, to hold the Adelaide 36ers to 39% shooting from the field is an outstanding defensive effort as well. So at both ends of the floor, the Wildcats found a way when they were tested.
Well, in the fourth quarter, Adelaide go 4 of 22 to close the game out.
Let's get to our Foot Locker player of the game. He's standing by with Kelsey.
Yeah, I've got Dylan Windler with me. We know that one was a massive one, a lot of hype during the week. Does it feel good to get that one locked away?
Yeah, it feels good always to get a win in this league, especially on the road. But, you know, definitely against a good team right now. Any win on the road's good. So, yeah, we had a good week of preparation, put a lot of detail and effort into this week, and it showed.
Talk about the details. Bryce is an ex-teammate of yours. How do you think you executed the scout?
I think we did a great job. I think Duke did a great job all night. Sunday when he came in, Henny when he was on him. I think the few times that he got open, he knocked down the shot. So it's just a testament to how good of a player he is. When he gets loose, you know, he makes you pay. But I think we did a great job all night making him earn it.
That's 5 road wins for you guys now. You seem to be really good away. Is there something in that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we got to figure out how to win at home too. So, you know, winning on the road's good in this league, especially, you know, against great teams, but we got to figure it out at home.
We love what you're doing. Enjoy this win.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Dylan Windler, our player of the game, and did it in style as well. 18 points for him, 12 boards, 5 assists to throw into the mix. He's high quality.
Yeah, he's a stud, and the touch around the rim, he can shoot, and he can shoot it deep as well, but he took what the defense was giving, the way they're playing him, they're fighting over the top, so he continues to snake it, and those touch shots around the basket like that with the non-preferred. There's that one deep one, but he was patient. He let the ball find him, 1 of 4 from 3.
Great game from David Duke Jr. as well. Let's get to him with Kelsey.
Yeah, he's in his second game, David. How are you finding the league? You've come in, you've guarded Bryce, one of the best to do it. How'd you find the game today?
I mean, we had a phenomenal game. 1 through however many guys stepped in on the court today. Everybody contributed. We didn't win this game today. I think we won it during the week. This past week when we were practicing, we had a week off. We didn't play midweek, so just time to lock in and focus on the scout, and we executed today. So, you know, obviously the final result was a testament to that.
What does a week of preparation coming into playing against someone like Bryce? It's you guarding him for the first time, but what did that preparation look like for the Wildcats?
It was huge. I mean, honestly, it was a lot of just keying in on him, you know, making his life hard. You know, he's a great player. He's going to make tough shots, which he did tonight, but the key is to just making, you know, take tough shots, wear him down over the course of the game, and then you live with the results, which I think we did a phenomenal job with today, all 5 guys, because it takes all 5 to guard him. So, you know, credit to the guys, most importantly.
What about your team, Dylan Windler, Doolittle? They were massive for you guys as well as your game. How are you finding that, and what did you think of those two today?
man, those guys are dogs, man. Obviously, they played here last season, and I'm just following them and, you know, asking them questions about how to adjust to this style. Those guys get after it every day. Today, they were phenomenal on the glass, getting us offensive rebounds, making big plays. So I think we're just going to need that on a consistent night basis. You know, tonight it was a good win, but, you know, we talked about it. We don't want to be satisfied. We want to continue to stack good days and, you know, for the foreseeable future, just continue to win more and more every single day, including practice.
Well, we love having you in this league. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A massive win for the Perth Wildcats here in Adelaide up against their former teammate, Bryce Cotton. And Bryce Cotton walks away with the L. We'll break it down after this.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Sunday afternoon hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and we've just watched the Perth Wildcats finish off the Adelaide 36ers at home. It's a good one for the Perth Wildcats, and you, Derek, you told me that the Perth are looking like the real deal now. They're looking like they've got better pieces together, the likes of Windler, Doolittle, David Duke Jr. comes in. He was dominant as well, and we've got plenty to talk about when it comes to the game that we've just watched. Let's start with Windler, though. There's the stats, the full-time stats. 87 plays, 94 in the end. Bryce Cotton, he was pretty devastated with that loss walking out of the stadium.
Yeah, it was a tough one. He took so much defensive attention, and the thing I noticed, Andrew, was the free throws. Perth were able to get 30 free throws. Anytime you attempt that many free throws, it alleviates pressure on your half-court offense, and of course, the offensive rebounding, where they were dominant in the first half, and again, the fourth quarter defense by the Wildcats restricting the Adelaide 36ers to 4 of 22 from the field.
It is, and to restrict Bryce Cotton to 0 free throw attempts, that's a magnificent effort. He got hold of him a little bit from the three-point line, but across all the checks and balances, like we said at halftime, I think that they'd be reasonably content. And David Duke Jr. showed what he can do. He's got good size, he's a tremendous athlete, and he was able to fight through those screens to really contest. And the size when Bryce is going to the rim that Duke's has made it difficult for him. And he's only going to get better.
Right.
He's got to acclimatise to the league, learn about the officiating, learn what he can and can't do. I like this. I like the way he can get to the rim. The three-point shot is a work in progress.
Yeah, but he makes enough of them, and, you know, it looks like he can shoot it well enough where teams have to honor him.
Well, that's true. But, you know, you want to be better than 25% in this league. So, but it's not a terrible shot. Perhaps a little bit too far to the right, to the left eye on the right side. But outside of that, there's certainly a lot to work with Johnny, really to work with.
Oh, to the right, to the left, Andrew Gates.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the team effort from the Perth Wildcats. It was something that Windler spoke about post-game, Duke Jr. spoke about as well. It was a team effort getting this done today. A big one was Doolittle, though.
Yeah, well, he's finally starting to play a complete game to the level that I expected after we saw him dominate last season's postseason. He wound up with 16, 9, and 3. But, Andrew, I still think there are moments in game where he needs to read the situation and understand with his skills and his athleticism, he can be more imposing. And a few times I thought there were possessions where he didn't instill himself the way he should have. But that was a back-breaking three balls. He stepped into that one in transition.
Yeah, you're right. He can hurt you in different ways. And just that strength of mid-range is what he can excel at. And for all those things you're talking about, when the game was on the line, that three ball was huge.
Well, the man who we spoke about from the top to the bottom of this broadcast was Bryce Cotton. He was up against his old team today, and he was dominant. He still had a game-high score. He was excellent from the three-point line, but he found it tough at times.
He did, and I thought Perth did a really good job of making it hard for Bryce. And look, they fell apart a couple of times in some coverages, but I believe he only had one two-point shot that we saw right there. They kept him off.
Derek, he was 1 of 11 from twos.
Right, and they kept him off the free throw line, and I thought that was essential. Bryce played the right way. He still made some tough shots, but overall, kudos to the Perth Wildcats defense and some individual performers as well.
Yeah, it is. You still marvel at the guy with what he's able to do from the three-point line. Some of those shots, the mere mortals can't make. You need to be special, and he has proven to be very, very special. And he'd be really upset with the loss, but you know, he certainly did whatever he could to get the win.
But let me tell you, I'm now worried for Bryce to enter into RAC after the performance today. Let's take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. Here we see United and Phoenix still at the top. The 36ers coming into today were second on the ladder. Wildcats, they elevate up into fourth. 11 played, 6 and 5. Anything on there that stands out?
Well, the 36ers loss today really takes pressure off of United after dropping their 2 games, and then Phoenix for dropping that game last night to United. Andrew, we're starting to see a little bit of discrepancy between maybe the top 5 and the bottom 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And even you could say for the top 3 from the rest, they got a little bit of a break. And that top 2 is so critical. That second place, it's going to be a dogfight to the end.
Well, let's take a look at the next 5 games for Adelaide. Oh, no, we are actually heading to Sydney. Let's. Oh, no, we're looking at Adelaide's next 5 games. I'm so sorry. Round 9, Tasmania Jack Jumpers. Round 10, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Cairns Taipans, Brisbane Bullets, Illawarra Hawks. It doesn't get much easier for Adelaide, but we've got a Sydney New Zealand Breakers game coming up. Sunday afternoon hoops continues in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Supported by Canon, the QX20 selfie printer. If you want to take it home, you got to get loud. Shake those pom-poms. Well, very gentle there, so we need some energy.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Hello and welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL, the second of our Sunday doubleheader. Kendrick Davis and the Inform